Movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse news opening scene shows Gwen's reunion with Miles. After more than 3 years, we finally have our first look at the highly anticipated Spider-Verse sequel. The opening to 2018's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse covered quite a bit of ground, introducing audiences to Jake Johnson's Spider-Man before his downfall and full of references to the past films, and Shameik Moore's Miles Morales, the charming yet awkward next generation of the Spider-Verse. Now, we have the first scene from the two-part Spider-Verse sequel, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and it's equally as exciting as the first. The Spider-Verse sequel is directed by Joaquim dos Santos, Voltron legendary Defender, Kemp Powers, One Night in Miami, and Justin K. Thompson, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. The sequel will be written by David Callahan, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Phil Lord and Chris Miller, The Lego Movie. This Spider sequel will see the return of Moore as Miles Morales, Johnson as Peter Parker, and Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy. In addition to these returning characters, the sequel will also include Issa Rae as Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. Spider fever is sweeping the nation, and with the release of Spider-Man No Way Home just around the corner, it's only fair that the multiverse's other Spider people get a hand in the game. As part of CCXP Worlds 2021, Sony has released its first set of images from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the animated sequel to the wildly successful Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse from 2018, seeing the return of Spidey-sensing hero Miles Morales, Shameik Moore. The studio has released 3 new images and a title card, the latter of which reveals that Across the Spider-Verse will not just be a single sequel film, but rather a 2-part story, with the words Part 1 tacked to the bottom, presumably graffitied there by resident multiverse artist, Miles. The images see bouncing about the multiverse open to him in the 2018 film, not only traveling between worlds but rendered in 2 dimensions rather than 3, signifying an all-new universe for the young hero to cause chaos in. The official synopsis for Across the Spider-Verse was also revealed today. Miles Morales returns for the next chapter of the Oscar-winning Spider-Verse saga, an epic adventure that will transport Brooklyn's full-time, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man across the multiverse to join forces with Gwen Stacy and a new team of Spider people to face off with a villain more powerful than anything they have ever encountered. While Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the first Spider-Man film to introduce the idea of multiverses, the concept has now infected both the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Sony's separate Spider-Man universe. Spider-Man No Way Home will unite characters from the previous iterations of Spider-Man, including Alfred Molina's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 and Jamie Foxx's Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Meanwhile, in the Sony universe, Venom Let There Be Carnage ended on a moment that showed Eddie Brock and his symbiote are now in the same universe as Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Maybe one day, all of these various multiverses can live together in one manic multiverse harmony. Also included in the images is the first look at Spider-Man 2099, better known as Miguel O'Hara, voiced by Oscar Isaac. This version of Spider-Man was teased in an end credits sequence in Into the Spider-Verse, in which O'Hara, a geneticist who gave himself the powers of Spider-Man in the comics, recreates the infamous Spider-Man pointing at himself meme that has floated around the internet practically before O'Hara even existed. What role O'Hara will play in the sequel is unknown, though his appearance has been highly anticipated since he was teased back in 2018. The images accompany a brand new first look at the animated sequel, in which Spider-Gwen, Haley Steinfeld, playing her second Marvel-centric role after Hawkeye, meets up with Miles once again and drags him across the multiverse, into a rollicking adventure and adventures with even more Spider people, including O'Hara, who doesn't seem entirely pleased to run into his alternate universe counterpart. The official synopsis of the film was also revealed today, remaining distinctly vague but exciting nonetheless. Miles Morales returns for the next chapter of the Oscar-winning Spider-Verse saga, an epic adventure that will transport Brooklyn's full-time, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man across the multiverse to join forces with Gwen Stacy and a new team of Spider people to face off with a villain more powerful than anything they have ever encountered. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse hits theaters on October 7, 2022. So what do you think of this new movie? Will you be watching? Feel free to comment down below.